Guys, in this video, I'm going to be installing the full Vitavon Primal conversion kit, electric. This comes with a transmission, brackets, battery plates, everything. Let's get to the table. We're going to start out with some weights. Let's go. Got the scale zeroed out with all the Vitavon stuff. This is the full conversion right here. So we'll set this off to the side. You can see 4 pounds, 8.7 ounces. So that is where it's at tear for these parts over here. So I'm going to go and put everything else on, and we'll see just how much it comes up to. I do not have handy the Johnny Crash conversion for this thing. I do not have that. I don't have it handy, put it that way. So but if I did have that, that might be a good solid pound. I'm thinking. But let's see where we're at here. I mean, none of these parts that I'm putting on here are actually needed. So I just put that up there. Hopefully I can get all this on here without it falling off. Oh, that's on. I still got the chain to deal with right there. The spud shaft to deal with, and that is going in right there. And I believe that is it. So with this system right here, it is 2 pounds, 2 ounces heavier. So it's a little bit lighter. This is the current setup right here. So all of this comes out. Okay, all of this, including this right here, and all of this will be weighed. But yeah, this is a lot to come out of this thing. Something else you have to do here. You have to change the ring gear. You got to flip it from one side to the other. Now, okay, this is the deal here. The rear is going to be the easiest to change, right? Now, if you change the rear, it's going to torque twist passenger side up. Monster trucks with a rear engine, guess what? They torque twist passenger side up, or this side right here. Now, if you change the front, it will torque twist like a front engine truck would, this side up. So honestly, it really doesn't matter. The rear is easier to change on most, especially if you don't have 4-wheel steering. I have 4-wheel steering, so guess what? It really doesn't matter. I'm gonna change the front. Another thing I wanna talk to you guys about before I finish taking off, I've already taken some bolts out. Look at how high up the motor center line is. The motor center line is literally right here. So this motor center line is going to be down here now. So you're talking a good 3.5 to 4 inches at the most of bringing the motor down. And that, along with your battery sitting right about here versus way up here, guess what? A lower center of gravity, higher performance, and hopefully a lot less weight. With everything up like this, you can see more. Had to take the drive shafts loose. All of this is coming out right here. I'm also going to take this ESC plate out, do a full install correct on this, but the skid goes into this area right here. So this entire area is going to be basically solid. You know, when I got this truck and started working on it and all that stuff, you know, one of the things I wanted to do was make it the highest performance Raminator on the planet. And this was something I wanted to do to it a while back. But at that time, there was no options available. Quite literally, there was no options available to do this. So I guess now we actually may have a market for used Primal transmissions, and I have no idea how much they're worth. I know these are meant for fingers and hands and stuff, but maybe they'll work for this too. And it looks like they are. These are by Cal RC. So just trying to clean things up a little bit. I'm going to take this opportunity with the links and all loose to just go ahead and swap the front ring gear. Now, if you've never had your front end apart or rear end apart, you're probably going to need a torch. While you're doing all this, this is a great opportunity to check these ring gear bolts because they are absolutely known for coming loose. Let's see. I think last time I had these apart, They're loose. Every single time I open these up. And you can see the grease is still grease, and that is actually Cal RC. But it doesn't matter what kind of thread lock I've used. It doesn't matter whether they were new bolts, old bolts, or what. Every single time, they're loose. Now, the V4 axles have a larger bolt right here. And I believe they're actually set up with a nut on the back side that you can put on there as well. And that helps a lot. Now, these are the Taylor upgraded outputs, though. It does have that. But this is what you got to go through. And chances are, if you have a Raminator and you haven't went through this, you really should. Make sure you got yourself a torch, because I guarantee you your ring gear bolts are loose. I've got the motor set. It's going to go into the back of this thing. The reason is, do you see the angle on the transmission? This is why. When you throttle this thing up and the back end compresses, the rear drive shaft is going to be, much better aligned. And when the front extends, it's going to be better aligned. Kind of like what it is right here. You can kind of see they're actually pretty good right here. So that's the reason I did that. On the chain and all that, I know quite a few guys have talked about busting the chain. Now this right here is obviously got a little bit of looseness to it, but I've never actually broke it. And before I go any further, I'm going to open this up and show you why I'm pretty sure this will hold up. I mean, it's been holding up great in the Ram bouncers. So let me show you the gears inside this transmission. All mod 1.5, 10 millimeter output, all that stuff. So this is pretty darn beefy right here. And we have not busted any of this with the Ram bouncer. Hold on, I take that back. I did have one issue with it, and that was with, I busted one of these bearings right here, one of the output bearings. So I did bust one of those on that, but that was after quite a bit of driving. So, but if there is a consistent issue with these, rest assured, Arthur Vitavon is absolutely going to upgrade. Absolutely. But yeah, this right here has proven to be super tough. All mod 1.5, beautiful. This fit in beautifully. Motor's in place, the bracketry went in perfectly. 15-tooth pinion gear. Everything is looking good. Now, these bars right here, I'm going to move this bar, or move one of these bars closer. With the motor in the back like this, we got to do the ESC plate back here, which is fine. On-off button, all that wonderful stuff right there. So this right here will be open, but the battery plate goes right down into this. So this is it, pretty much all in. I still got to finish mounting the ESC. I've got wiring to do. This is probably got to come back out. The one thing I do like to do to these is to take a knife or a file and take the edges off. This way it's less likely to cut a battery strap in case you flip this thing over. The ESC on the back side, this is going to be bolted right in place. All the ESCs you can fit there, XL, X2, Hobby Wing, everything goes in. So the next time you guys see this in just a few seconds, possibly a couple hours for me, it will be actually a ready to run truck, and we will power it up. I'll tell you what, I'm happy. It is in, powered up. I got all my steering, everything going, and the camera may make this sound bad, but honestly, it's not bad. So, brand new transmission, 15-tooth pinion gear. Now, the one thing is, I'm kind of wondering, I know tire size, all that, but that doesn't exactly seem very fast. Granted, we're on 8S, so we'll have to see how this works out, but I may have to 12S it to make this gear work, or, 18, 19 tooth, because now your ratio is absolutely adjustable. I do got to point out, to get to your pinion gear on and off, you got to do some work. You got to pull the battery tray out, and you got to loosen this bracket right here to spin this up and out of the way, and then you can get your motor and all that loose. However, it's best to just simply take the drive shafts out, take the 4 bolts underneath, and remove the whole transmission. It sounds like a bigger job than it is, but honestly, it probably takes 5 minutes to pull the whole transmission out of this truck. Just absolute honest. I mean, all you have are these wires right here, and the transmission drops right out. Okay, this thing is together. I think I can end this video now. I just got to take this plate out, put this back in place, lock that down, or leave the plate in. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out when I take it for the drive. But I do want to show you this right here. Now, these are the 10,000 milliamp batteries. I think these are going to be the official battery. Look at that. I've got the 6,800 milliamp 6S. So they're the exact same size, so I can do something here. I'm going to use these slots right here, and I'm going to design and print a battery stop. This way, I don't have to worry about my batteries shifting in the case. I do a spectacular cartwheel. Yep. So let me do my stand-up routine, and man, I can't wait to drive this thing. Guys, everything went in beautifully. Now, with the 70-125 motor, you really need that mount there to help hold it, to keep the weight off of it and everything, especially when you're going to send this thing like a crazy guy like I probably will. Now, everything went together beautifully. Carbon, everything. So I guess all it is now is get this thing out and drive it. Now, when I did the weights, I put the text in there. I'm estimating the Johnny Crash ESC mount. There's a lot of metal there. It's like a big hanging pendulum deal in there. I'm going to estimate that at 2 pounds. So estimate 4 pounds lighter. 4 pounds lighter isn't really a lot when you talk about a 102-pound truck. But regardless, guys, stay tuned because we'll be driving it soon. I'll link the kit up down below. Use those links. Hit that subscribe, ring that bell. And if you're still watching, you really are top shelf, pick of the litter. You're it. Guys, have a great one. If you're still watching, you are top shelf. You are the cream of the crop, the pick of the litter. You are phenomenal. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. Now, down below, there are links for the products you see. Also for channel memberships, if you guys want to be a part. Channel members get early viewing on pretty much everything that I can. So, guys, check that description. There's a lot of info down there. Thank you all for watching.